Hi everyone, Judy here. I'm an average person, but I don't worship billionaires nor do I love dictators. I fight for freedom, democracy, human rights, and science. And I upload weekly to this series, which talks about culture, history, economics, and more. Okay, my friends, before we dive into today's topic, please allow me to thank the friends who bought me coffee from my website last week. Thank you so much for your kind support, my friends. Thank you. My friends, if you're not new to my YouTube channels, Judy Fay London and Judy Plus, you might remember that I've talked about Trump's golfing and how much it might cost taxpayers. But if you're a new friend and you haven't watched my previous videos, please check them out in the description or comments. Right, Trump loves golfing, while Trumpers love seeing their money paying for him golfing. Also, Trump loves crowning himself the winner at his own golf club. Yeah, over the years, he's been claiming that he's won championships at his own international golf club. It seems that he never loses an event at one of his tournaments, right? Yeah, Trump loves bragging about his golfing exploits, and he's been being accused of cheating on the course. Obviously, Trump desires to receive as many awards and honors as possible. And according to Independent, just a few days ago, this 79-year-old president was seen targeting a FIFA Club World Cup winners medal on stage moments before he handed it Chelsea a replica trophy. So I believe Trump loves medals just like Leonid Brezhnev, who was the Soviet leader from 1964 until his death in 1982, whose obsession with medals and public displays of recognition became jokes among the Soviet populace. This Leonid Brezhnev, just like Trump, loved awarding himself. He even awarded himself a coveted World War II medal that he didn't earn. And he had more than 200 medals when he died. As for Trump, since he pocketed the FIFA medal, so now the medal is sitting in the White House. Hence, Trump has the medal, though he didn't play the game. Which is why some people labeled his action the art of the steal. So why do they love being awarded? Well, according to the history that I know of, almost all dictators loved being awarded and praised because they want people to believe they are the living God. Yeah, some people say it's about their ego, but in my opinion, it's also about being called the living God. If people believe their so-called winnings, these people would believe they are kind of gods or saviors. So what? So they can do whatever they wanna do, and people would believe they are right all the time, no matter how ridiculous their theories are, no matter how insane their actions are, and then they can safely rule over these obedient people forever. So yeah, dictators love being awarded and honored. Dictators. These evil people always manipulate poorly educated people to gain their personal goals. My friends, as you know, I always say that we should read more various books that contain different or even opposite opinions in order to give ourselves the ability to think independently, right? Yes, as an ordinary person, I don't want to see everyday people to be tricked by some evil people at the top. Which is why I also often say that we shouldn't just read or listen to or watch the news or stories from the same sites platforms. Why? Well, let's see an example, shall we? Look at this photo. Say it's published in bad news, where readers don't like the winning army. So this platform starts condemning the abuse of prisoners. Now look at this photo that is published in Axe News, where readers love the winning army. No doubt this platform starts praising the soldier for giving wonder to the prisoner without regard to danger and safety. But Candy News says that neither of them is right while posting the whole photo on their platform. Candy News asks readers not to jump into conclusions without knowing the whole picture. And that's also my point, my friends. We cannot or shouldn't reach our conclusions by only reading or watching the stories from one side's platforms. We should find out the truth by getting information from various resources. Yes, I know. Trumpers only listen to Trump and the platforms that praise him. They don't like or wanna hear people criticizing Trump, which is why many of them want Trump to get rid of CNN, CBS, etc. But my friend, if you're a Trumper, think about it. If there's only one side, one voice that always praises the leader of the country, you're living in a dictatorship, like North Korea. Is that what you want? If your answer is yes, I say you need to educate yourself because you don't even know how people suffer in dictatorships. If your answer is no, congrats, you start waking up and you begin leaving the MAGA cult, which is not easy. Leaving a cult is never easy, so congrats. Anyway, my friends, no matter when, no matter which side you support, try to get your information from different and various platforms. Don't jump into conclusions without knowing the whole picture. My friends, I guess most of you know that whenever Trump is caught doing something wrong, he cries and cries and cries, saying the accusation is a witch hunt, right? For example, when Nancy Pelosi announced a bipartisan committee looking into abuse and exploitation of resources during the COVID-19 pandemic, Trump said it was a witch hunt.
Our nation's capital, especially in Congress, that this is not the time for politics, endless partisan investigations. Here we go again. Have already done extraordinary damage to our country in recent years. You see what happens. It's witch hunt after witch hunt after witch hunt. And in the end, the people doing the witch hunt have been losing, and they've been losing by a lot. It's not any time for witch hunts. It's time to get this enemy defeated.
Also, Trump has repeatedly called the Russia probe, the special counsel investigation led by former FBI Director Robert Mueller, a witch hunt.
Well, I respect the move, but the entire thing has been a witch hunt, and there is no collusion between certainly myself and my campaign, but I can always speak for myself and the Russians.
By the way, I've read Mueller's report. I don't think he'll reach this conclusion based on the very report. Now, there's a reason why. Trump called the Epstein files controversy a witch hunt.
I don't really follow that too much. It's sort of a witch hunt, just a continuation of the witch hunt.
He shrugged it off as a witch hunt, but Epstein was at his wedding. New footage, old friends, and a growing pile of questions. All while Trump points fingers and Congress runs for cover. When the photos resurface and the names go public, who's really afraid of what Maxwell might say? New archival footage and photographs have emerged that provide unprecedented insight into the relationship between US President Donald Trump and the late financier Jeffrey Epstein. The materials uncovered by CNN's investigative team include previously unknown evidence of Epstein's attendance at Trump's 1993 wedding to Marla Maples at the Plaza Hotel. High society photographer Daffyd Jones, who captured these moments, recalls the encounter vividly. Jones told CNN this week,
"There was this guy there who struck me. The way he was looking. And he gave me his card. It said, Jeffrey Epstein, financial advisor."
The photographer documented Trump with his arm around his two young children, standing next to Epstein as they leaned on a railing at a New York event. Raw footage from a 1999 Victoria's Secret fashion show reveals Trump and Epstein laughing and chatting together ahead of the runway event. This wasn't their first appearance at such gatherings. Getty images show the pair at a 1997 Angels party, 2 years before the newly discovered footage. The relationship between the two men stretched back to the 1980s, with regular appearances at social events in Palm Beach and New York. In a 2002 New York Magazine profile, Trump offered his assessment of Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, international money man of mystery. Trump described him as a terrific guy, adding,
It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
When CNN contacted Trump about the wedding photos on July 22nd, his response was swift and dismissive. He repeatedly called CNN fake news.
Well, Epstein was jailed and died during Trump's first term. Is it a witch hunt? Is it a hoax? Yeah, Trump thinks his MAGA supporters are stupid. But apparently, a large part of them is not as stupid as he thinks, because they are still asking for the Epstein files to be released. Anyway, in my view, Trump defiles the phrase witch hunt, and women and men were labeled witches, being purged and killed because of witch hunt. Speaking of witch hunt, you might know that in the medieval and early modern eras, many religions thought that the devil could give people known as witches the power to harm others in return for their loyalty. Yes, belief in witchcraft has been shown similarities in societies throughout the world. In medieval Europe, witch hunts often arose in connection to charges of heresy from Christianity. From the 1300s to the end of the 1600s, tens of thousands of supposed witches were executed in Europe. In America, the Salem witch trials and executions occurred in Salem Village between early 1692 and mid-1693. Yes, those witch hunts often happened in villages where people were not well educated. They blamed the so-called witches once they couldn't explain the bad things that happened to them because of lacking knowledge. You might think that witch hunts have disappeared since modern society believes in the reality of molecules, but unfortunately, that's not the case. In some developing countries, witch hunts still cause innocent people to be killed. So I say Trump has been defiling the phrase witch hunt. Okay, my friends, in case you don't know me yet, I'm Judy Fay London, a fan of Jack London. I'm a published writer who writes fiction and non-fiction novels and short stories. You're very welcome to visit my website, judyfaylondon.com or Amazon to read my poems and my short stories. The last one, Mr. Rat, Candy, the dog, and so on, and my latest non-fiction book, Living with the Walking Dead, a roadmap for achieving your own success. I hope to see you there, and thank you so much for your kind support, and thank you very much for subscribing to my YouTube channels, Judy Fay London and Judy Plus. Judy Fay London is a channel that mainly talks about culture, economics, and dictators and various events and people in human history, while Judy Plus is a channel that talks about interesting discoveries in the world of science. Thank you for watching, and my friends, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. Thank you.